Stephen, I think that we have both a moral obligation and a national security interest in A, ending the slaughter in Syria, but B, also ensuring that we've got a stable Syria that is representative of all the Syrian people and is not creating chaos for its neighbors. And that's why, for the last 2 years, we have been active in trying to ensure that Bashar al-Assad exits the stage and that we can begin a political transition process. That's the reason why we have invested so much in humanitarian aid. That's the reason why we are so invested in helping the opposition, and why we've mobilized the international community to isolate Syria. That's why we are now providing non-lethal assistance to the opposition, and that's why we're going to continue to do the work that we need to do. And in terms of the costs and the benefits, I think there'd be severe costs in doing nothing. That's why we're not doing nothing. That's why we are actively invested in the process. If what you're asking is, are there continuing reevaluations about what we do, what actions we take in conjunction with other international partners to optimize the day when, or to hasten the day when we can see a better situation in Syria. We've been doing that all along, and we'll continue to do that. I think that, understandably, there's a desire for easy answers. That's not the situation there. And my job is to constantly measure our very real and legitimate humanitarian and national security interests in Syria, but measuring those against my bottom line, which is what's in the best interests of America's security, and making sure that I'm making decisions not based on a hope and a prayer, but on hard-headed analysis in terms of what will actually make us safer and stabilize the region. I would note, not to answer the question that you lobbed over to President Park, that you suggested, even in your question, a perceived crossing of a red line. The operative word there, I guess, Stephen, is perceived. And what I've said is that we have evidence that there has been the use of chemical weapons inside of Syria, but I don't make decisions based on perceived, and I can't organize international coalitions around perceived. We've tried that in the past, by the way, and it didn't work out well. So we want to make sure that we have the best analysis possible. We want to make sure that we are acting deliberately. But I would just point out that there have been several instances during the course of my presidency where I said I was going to do something, and it ended up getting done. And there were times when there were folks on the sidelines wondering, why hasn't it happened yet, and what's going on, and why didn't it go on tomorrow? But in the end, whether it's bin Laden or Gaddafi, if we say we're taking a position, I would think at this point the international community has a pretty good sense that we typically follow through on our commitments.
Interesting. President Obama there speaking of his own statement that if they use chemical weapons in Syria on their own people, that would be a red line and there would be consequences, and saying there you should believe the president, take the president at his word, but saying at this point it's only a, quote, perceived crossing of a red line, and I don't make decisions based on perceived, adding we've done that in the past.